any government minister who becomes a millionaire after being to a government office is a thief.
That's true. That's very true.
There's no millionaire who becomes a millionaire through government salaries. I make that statement loud and clear. So this whole concept of democracy is a facade, the entertainment for the poor, to think that by voting a president into power, they've actually put a man in control. We need people like Traore, who wakes up in the morning and says, I need 3,000 trucks of road equipment on the road by tomorrow, and 3 kilometers from Ghana into Burkina Faso. They are there by tomorrow. I need a hospital there. I need an aeroplane manufacturing industry there. I need and you need to give a president power, the one who can decide, not the one who can steal, the one who can decide and make a change. We look at our countries. Look at Kenya, almost 50 years of independence.
60.
Look
63 actually.
Look at Ghana, 63. Look at Zimbabwe, 40 something. And the roads that the colonialists built, we're even battling to repair them with potholes and etc. And you wonder, for the past 45 years, what are we doing? Here's the Minister of Roads, here's the Minister of Public Works, but they simply can't get things done. So what do you need? You need a leader.
Democrats.
Whether you're a Democrat or not, how can you impose democracy by killing millions of people? It's a dictatorship, not democracy. You can't impose it. Those who call themselves Democrats have seen scenes where people were prevented from joining assemblies. We've seen scenes where forces landed in assemblies to force deputies to take texts. We've seen more terrible scenes where people kill their demonstrators. But they call themselves Democrats, and we're called Perseus. If that's democracy, I repeat, we don't want this democracy. And when you see incompetence, they don't seek to know what the real meaning of the word democracy is. They cling to the definition given to them by imperialism and start talking about democracy without really knowing the basics. That's incompetence. You have to know, look at the world to redefine democracy as we want it in Africa. Incompetence hides behind freedom. Remember, there is no individual freedom.
I've always said, and I will repeat time and again, gender is not the key. Competency is the key. Now, we've been talking about, women leading Africa, and we've been championing about women leading Africa. Of course, it is not bad when we choose women to lead Africa. It is okay, and I've always supported that also. But now, let us look at the competency of a person. Is this person able to lead? Can she really, can she really deliver? Can she really give the people and provide good leadership that people want? That is what we need to look into. Now, Samia Suluhu Hassan is appearing to be one of the person who has really destroyed the legacy of the women. Now, if right now you want to vote for a woman president into the government, you have to think twice, because you'll be now referring from Samia, and then you'll have to think twice. We have another president in Namibia. She's called Natumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. She's a woman. She has been a friend to Samia Suluhu Hassan. Now tell me, how is she looking at Samia Suluhu Hassan when she is doing all these things? Now, Samia Suluhu Hassan has been announced the new president of the Republic of Tanzania, after getting 32,678 844 votes. Just look into this one. She has scored 32,678 844 votes. Okay, now around 800 votes were spoiled, and now we are having 31,913,866 votes, which is equivalent to about 97.66%. Other people are rounding off and they're saying 98%, which means the person following him, because those people are little people who were vying against him, maybe they shared the remaining 2% or something. This is almost the lady was running by himself. He was contesting with herself. I mean, there was nobody else contesting with her. Okay. Now the question remains: how comes she has scored? She has gotten a sum of 32 million votes when almost 90% of the people in Tanzania, they went to the street to demonstrate. They didn't vote. In fact, many of the polling stations in Tanzania were broken down. Okay. A lot of polling stations were broken down and elections were not allowed to be held in those areas, many towns in Tanzania. But the president got 32 million votes. Does it really make any sense when people did not vote? You see, sometimes I even begin to think Samia Suluhu Hassan has become worse than even President William Ruto, because we've always been complaining about Ruto and all that. But this one, she's becoming a master. This is clear rigging of elections. And this is what is happening in Africa. And we have been trying to see how we can be able to fix these things. But now it is becoming a very big problem. Look at what is happening. She's clearly rigging. They're trying to do what is called a game of numbers, to try and bring in, that's just to show out to the world that people indeed went to vote. Now, the question is, who went to vote? You cannot tell me. We have been seeing demonstrations in Tanzania all day long. We've been following demonstrations. Demonstrations have been going on in Tanzania for about 4 days now, since the day of elections. And then you tell me 32 million people went to vote. 32 million people went to vote. And the president got 97%, which means we have another 2% of 97% of the 2 million who also went to vote. So it is more than 32 million people who went to vote. Then the people who we are seeing on the streets trying to demonstrate, then who are those people? That's the biggest question we should be asking ourselves. This is clear rigging, and this is what we are calling dictatorship. Taking power by force and making yourself the president by force, regardless of whether people say you're going to be their president or you're not going to be their president. Even if you see that image of that video of him being given the certificate of her being given the certificate, the presidential certificate, you'll see they're even just doing it with a lot of terrification and all that. They're not that much comfortable because they fear anything can happen anytime. It is not that they don't know what is going on out there. They really understand what is happening out there, and the people are demonstrating out there. They know in this room that they are doing the coronation. That is not even election. That is coronation. Yeah. Anything can happen anytime, and people can break into that place anytime. Just take a look at this video.
Let's start off from Tanzania, where President Samia Suluhu has been declared the winner of Tanzania's 2025 presidential election with nearly 98% of the votes in an election that set off violent protest across the country this week. The Tanzania Electoral Commission says that the president has received more than 31.9 million votes. That is 97.66% of the total votes. The results hands Samia Suluhu a 5-year term to govern East Africa country of 68 million people, as Victor Ngaruya tells us.
After a Tanzanian election week marred with protests, destruction of property, and imposed nationwide curfew, restricted access to internet, injuries, and even death, Tanzania's Electoral Commission has declared on Saturday that the leader of the Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party, Samia Suluhu Hassan, is the winner with nearly 98% of the votes. According to the Electoral Commission, Samia Suluhu received more than 31.9 million votes, or 97.66% of the total, with the turnout nearing 87% of the country's 37.6 million registered voters.
Barred from the contest.
During the election day, the turnout appeared low, according to witnesses, with some polling stations disrupted by the protests. The military was deployed alongside the police to quell the riots in major cities. The opposition claims that at least 700 people have been killed nationwide, and the United Nations has confirmed credible reports of at least 10 deaths in 3 major cities. Outrage was sparked after two main opponents were blocked from contesting. Only minor opposition figures were eligible to compete against Samia Suluhu in the elections after the Independent National Electoral Commission disqualified the Chadema party in April for refusing to sign an electoral code of conduct. Chadema party leader had earlier been arrested at a rally where he called for electoral reforms and was charged with treason. The commission also barred Luhaga Mpina, the candidate for the second largest opposition party ACT Wazalendo, after an objection from the Attorney General. Samia Suluhu then became the subject of criticism, especially on social media, many branding her a dictator who is afraid of competition.
The ruling party and its government have described as an election, but a majority of Tanzanians do not see it as such. They see it as a performance staged to create an illusion of democratic process, which in fact is not the case.
This is not the first time that Samia Suluhu has received such criticism involving democratic neglect. Recently, she has received backlash over alleged abductions and arrests of activists and political opponents. She has denied the allegations and ordered an investigation into reports of abductions, but no official findings have been released to date.
See that video? That is a presidential announcement, like presidential announcement declaration, you know, and how even they are doing it, they're just doing it in a local way. It is like it is giving a certificate to school kids somewhere back there in the village where children are just called and give, because there is no even a formal way of doing it. As you can see, they are afraid, they are in fear, because they know what they are doing is not right. They know they have rigged elections. They know the country is in a very bad state right now and anything can happen. Listen, African presidents have been very heartless, and most especially those who are puppets, very much heartless. She doesn't care about the people who are being killed in the streets. She doesn't care about the what is happening in the streets, people calling and demonstrating, and some of them are being killed by the police. She cares about becoming the president. That is why she cannot even hold on until everything calms down, so that she can be able to continue with everything, or she cannot try to get a solution to what is happening. The only thing she thinks about and the only thing she cares about is being declared the president-elect of the Republic of Tanzania. That is what she cares about. She cares about herself. She cares about what she's going to get in return, because she knows, if I happen to get out of this seat, I will not continue stealing that I've been stealing. I'll not continue getting the privileges I've been getting. This government is mine and everything is for me. And therefore, if I get out of this place, I will not get all these things. It's a matter of greedy. It's a matter of puppetrism. It's a matter of working for the white man's supremacies, yeah? Being told what to do and being corrupt and want to grab everything for yourself, public money and everything from people, and you keep it by yourself. You aren't doing anything. You aren't building roads. You aren't providing jobs and employments for the youths. You are not like everything is just bad. It's a very bad thing. And that is what is happening. Things we are trying to really stand against. Things we are really trying to stand against and saying no to it. Because this is pure dictatorship. The woman does not care about what is happening. The woman cares about being given the certificate and being declared the president while you are running alone. You are contesting alone. I mean, which kind of elections is that? That is, if that is now the democracy that we are talking about, if that is the so-called democracy that we are being told to live and to do things under democracy and to follow the rule of democracy, then that democracy better stay aside and let us be able to do things the way we can be able to do it. People, choose your leaders, let them lead you. Do not even consider your president as your president, because tell me, who is going to consider Samia as their president? Nobody. Everybody is in the street. They are demanding for the release of the opposition leader, Tundu Lissu. That is what they are doing on the streets right now. You have arrested every possible opposition leader, and then you are giving the date of election, then you're going to the elections day alone, contesting with yourself. Again, I really feel like Tanzanian people need to be very careful. And here I blame Tanzanian people. You need to be like other youths and other Gen Zs in Africa. Listen, the moment Tundu Lissu was arrested, that is the time you should have walked up and go to the roads and demonstrate for his release. You cannot wait until the day of election, then you want to start demonstrating. You have really failed the country and you need to do better some other time. You waiting until the day of election, then you start demonstrating. These demonstrations would have started a long time ago. Kenyan Gen Z demonstrated just because a finance bill that never made sense was brought in action, and they demonstrated. Yeah. Something that if it was in Tanzania, they would consider it something that is not even serious. They've kept on saying they are peaceful, they are peaceful, they are peaceful. Somebody said they're demonstrating they're demonstrating in their hearts, you know. That is what somebody said. You see, until it's too late, they are getting to a point, until it gets to a point of no return, that is when you go out and demonstrate. This is a warning to all African youths. Let us not give room to any possible leader who looks like he wants to oppress us and steal from us and do all those bad things from us. This one should be a warning. Once upon a time, Captain Ibrahim Traore said something. Democracy is bullshit. Democracy that kills people. Democracy that you cannot allow other people to access parliament, other people to do things out here, that is a bullshit kind of a democracy. If the democracy is killing people and killing demonstrators and not allowing people to speak, then that democracy better be. Take a look at this video.
Whether you're a Democrat or not, how can you impose democracy by killing millions of people? It's a dictatorship, not democracy. You can't impose it. Those who call themselves Democrats have seen scenes where people were prevented from joining assemblies. We've seen scenes where forces landed in assemblies to force deputies to take texts. We've seen more terrible scenes where people kill their demonstrators. But they call themselves Democrats, and we're called Persians. If that's democracy, I repeat, we don't want this democracy. And when you see incompetence, they don't seek to know what the real meaning of the word democracy is. They cling to the definition given to them by imperialism and start talking about democracy without really knowing the basics. That's incompetence. You have to know, look at the world to redefine democracy as we want it in Africa. Incompetence hides behind freedom. Remember, there is no individual freedom.
And if we need to say it loud and clear here, we are not in a democracy, we are indeed in a progressive popular revolution. Everyone needs to understand that. And it's even more surprising that those who are supposed to be the intellectuals who went to school can imagine that a country can develop within democracy. That's false. When you cite a single country that developed in democracy, it's not possible. Democracy is only the culmination. We inevitably go through a revolution, and we are indeed in a revolution. Those who hadn't understood it, we say it again, yes, loudly. Everyone needs to incorporate this, and our role to communicate, to explain, to make people understand what our revolution is, we will continue to play it. So, this question of democracy or libertinism, of action or expression has no place. I said it once, as much as you think you are free to speak and act, the other is also free to speak and act. And there we end up with a society of disorder. And as it happens, it fits well that we are in the midst of celebrating patriotic days. The theme is indeed order and discipline. We do not make a revolution in disorder. It's impossible. And order, we will establish order and discipline so that we can progress. Because social, economic, political, ideological reforms require order and discipline. And everyone has their role to play in this.
Now, this is a lesson and we must learn from it so that next time we don't make a mistake like that one. Samia Suluhu Hassan declared the president. She becomes the president despite the people who have, despite killing people, despite oppressing people, she has still been declared the president. Even when the commission of the elections commissions in Tanzania, knowing very well it was not right to do elections in that manner, they still declared her the president. It is very shameful and people should learn from that. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I will do my best to make sure I read all the comments and give a response where possible. Until next episode, peace be with you.